Thank you so much and welcome to another segment of the Politics Wrap. And today in studio, we've got the Provincial Secretary of the ANC in Gauteng, Mr. Thembinkosi Ngqiza. And of course, he'll be talking to us about the outcomes of the National Working Committee's visit to the ANC structures in the province. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So first and foremost, you've had a marathon of meetings this entire weekend with the leadership of the ANC in the province. Perhaps just talk us through the outcomes of the NWC visit.
I think firstly, we're taking stock. The organization would have suffered a setback, which necessitated that we need to then analyze where are we. We went to our regions. The regions were very robust, engaged the leadership on some of the challenges that are facing our communities, and they would have raised them very sharply. Issues of water, issues of electricity, issues of unemployment, issues of crime. Of course, we need to make sure that even internally, we change how we're doing things in the African National Congress, rebuild structures of the ANC from scratch. If we need to go and make sure that branches are stronger, that's what we need to do. Sectoral work needs to really happen. We need to also do proper recruitment of membership into the ANC. Of course, there was an acknowledgement from our part that, look, the reality is that these were difficult elections. Especially in Comrade Mbak's call it a Zuma party. Some of the things that would have happened in the province, we had our own comrades which have went that side, which created a base outside of the hostels. But it takes an honest organization to rebuild itself. It takes comrades who are ready to work to rebuild the organization. And I think after all the regions would have spoken, of course, acknowledging the fact that there was work done, we could have done better, but socio-economic issues of our people were at the center. And we need to make sure that we revitalize the economy. The issue of illegal foreign nationals in the province is a serious matter. The issues of crime are a serious matter. So those are some of the issues that would have raised. But internally, we need to focus on discipline. But we also need to focus on rebuilding strong branches of the ANC. And
we'll get to those other issues. But the last time you were sitting exactly in that chair, 3 weeks ago, you had said that you're going to come back to us and announce that there's a new mayor in the city of Tshwane, and that's not the case. I mean, what happened? We've seen a motion of a motion of no confidence was submitted by the ANC. It was subsequently withdrawn because of the court action. But what's actually happening right now?
Politics are not predictable, and I'm sure you would agree with me. What is important is that we're still on track. On the 26th of this month, the vote of no confidence will continue. We're engaging all political parties, and we believe that in the next few weeks, or few days rather, we should be able to find a solution, agree with all the parties that we've been engaging about Tshwane, and we're very confident that we should be able to really bring change in the city of Tshwane.
And Mr. Ngqiza, you say that, talks are ongoing. Fine, I accept that. But has the ANC actually agreed, or does it have an idea who the mayor should be? Will we see Nasiphi Moya from Action SA taking that position, and then the ANC takes the position of deputy mayor, speaker, and of course you'll negotiate for some MMC positions? Or could we likely see somebody from Tshwane taking over the helms?
We're in engagements, and engagements are open. We have a framework of the ANC that will pursue, but we're also in negotiations. That must be respected by all parties, including ourselves. So we believe that by Monday, Tuesday next week, we should be able to know where we are, or even closer to the time. In politics, we negotiate up until...
But what's the ANC's standpoint?
The ANC standpoint is that we must make sure that Tshwane represents the people of Tshwane. The townships of Tshwane must be able to get services from the city of Tshwane. As things stand, the people of Tshwane are not finding expression. The pro-poor budget is not there. we need to be able to contest that. How do we do it? By making sure that we are in the executive, we influence what the executive committee says. That is our standpoint. If we're to engage and agree with any political party, because the obsession should not only be about leading, but the obsession is about servicing the people of Tshwane and making sure that the African National Congress find expression so that the people of Tshwane, because in majority, the councillors are councillors of the ANC, especially in the townships. When there's no service delivery, like I would have told you before, it does have a negative impact on our councillors. People don't blame the Democratic Alliance when they don't see services in all the townships of Tshwane. They blame the ANC. So our aim and our objective is to make sure that by the time we are done with that vote of no confidence, a very solid and one program which is to talk to our people happens in the city of Tshwane. That's our objective.
Where does Action SA now feature in all of this? I know Action SA and the ANC work together in the city of Johannesburg to help the ANC reclaim that mayoral position. In Tshwane, where do things stand? Because I remember the national chairperson of Action SA, Michael Bowman, said that the party senate will decide on whether it has joined or left a coalition accordingly. So is it a case-by-case coalition or arrangement with the ANC pertaining to the various cities?
I would not speak on behalf of Action SA. It will be incorrect. I speak on behalf of the ANC. All I'm saying is that we are speaking to all political parties, including Action SA.
Okay.
And in fact, we'll even speak to the Democratic Alliance. We don't close any party outside.
But how would that relationship work? Because according to the ANC in Tshwane, they lament the fact or the issue of service delivery, especially seeing that they claim that Silius Brink hasn't been providing political guidance for the 18 months that he was actually in office, and they want him out.
Speaking to a party does not mean you'll agree. All I'm saying is that we are speaking to all political parties because we want to find one solution. We don't want to play politics. It's not about Brink, it's about services. We want to make sure that we deliver services for the people of Tshwane. And that's where we are. Of course, we have not engaged much with the Democratic Alliance, but we have engaged with other political parties. But we will pursue discussions with all parties. We are hoping that we should be able to find a solution in the next
and those
days.
Parties also include the EFF. I just want to know
of
how's
course.
The relationship with the EFF?
We're engaging everyone.
In the province.
We have a relationship and we're working with economic freedom fighters in many of these municipalities. You would remember that in 2022, we were out in 10 municipalities in the province. We were able to go in one municipality. As we speak, at least we've got an influence in more than 10 municipalities. That talks to service delivery to our people. Because the ANC, when it's not in power, our people suffer, but they don't blame other political parties. They say, no, we voted for you. So if we are serious, we can't be outside of power because it means the National Democratic Revolution will suffer. So we can't allow that.
Mr. Mngisi, I just want to squeeze in two questions because you've got just under a minute left. You've mentioned the issue of creating stronger branches ahead of the 2026 local government elections. Has the work started? But also, what's also important now is your regional conferences. Just please take us through those preparations.
The work has started in building strong branches. The ANC should focus on rebuilding the organization than focusing on conferences. Conferences, generally, they divide us. We will focus on conferences because we need legitimate structures. But if you don't work on making sure that we got stronger branches, the same thing will continue happening. So it's really a fruitless exercise. It's either the ANC decides to renew and rebuild itself or continue with factionalism and kill the organization. And Gauteng branches across the province are agreeing that we ought to go and rebuild the African National Congress. Because that's the people's movement, that's the people's parliament. And outside of the ANC, this country will be doomed. We need to make sure that our branches work with the people, work with the communities, and we build strong branches. Conferences will come, but that's not our priority.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was the Provincial Secretary of the ANC in Gauteng, Mr. Thembi Nkosi Mngisi. welcome back. And as promised, we've got Professor Ntsikelelo Breakfast, who joins us via our Teams platform. Professor, thank you so much for joining us on the Politics Wrap. I assume you heard the conversation that I had with the Provincial Secretary of the ANC in Gauteng, Mr. TK Ngqiza. But I think before we get to that, we saw the ANC NEC members in provinces like Gauteng and the Western Cape. And I'm more specifically interested in knowing what you make of the General Secretary comments that he made today, Mr. Phiri I Latest, when he said that there's no conclusion has been reached over the province of KZN. And of course, this is amidst calls to disband the structures in KZN after the ANC, of course, performed dismally in the province, dropping to just 17%. Do you think that the structures in that province should be disbanded?
Well, Natasha, the ANC of late has suffered a major blow in terms of its electoral performance, in particular in urban centers, namely Gauteng, Johannesburg, in KZN as well, in particular in Durban. So that setback has been attributed to the leadership of those provinces. Wonder the ANC has been grappling with the question as to whether it should disband those PECs or not. But at the same time, I mean, some people think that the leadership of the ANC at HQ is unhappy with the posture of the PEC of Gauteng in particular, given the fact that they have come across to be defying orders from the mother body by gravitating too much to political parties that are seen to be problematic by the ANC, like MK and EFF, because I think the ANC does have a partnership with the EFF at provincial government level, and also they get a buy-in from time to time from MK. So maybe that could be the reason, as opposed to other reasons that are put forward by the mother body.
Professor Breakfast, you heard what Mr. Ngqiza had to say when he spoke about creating stronger branches, especially ahead of the 2026 local government elections, which is just a stone throw away. Do you think that the ANC could salvage a situation and bounce back from its dismal performance, especially in provinces like you've mentioned, in Gauteng and KZN?
Well, that is everyone's guess. I mean, the ANC has done a thorough analysis. It appreciates some of its failures, in particular at local government level, that there has been a slow pace of service delivery. Also, you know that the turnout was very low, and normally when the turnout is low, it affects the ANC in the main. So some people did not want to show up at the polls because they're unhappy about the way things are. People don't vote just for fun. They vote because they want to change for the better. So to answer your question, if the ANC wants to make a change for the better, it needs to make sure that where it governs well. That is the only way out. It's not going to happen out of a theorization by saying all sorts of things and doing nothing.
And talking about issues of governance, I think I want us to zoom into the situation that's currently happening in the city of Tshwane. The ANC has yet again submitted a motion of no confidence on the 3rd of September against the mayor, Silius Brink. And the ANC is basically saying that it's because of his inability to prove necessary leadership and political guidance. But what does this do for the stability of, a city like Tshwane, which is riddled with issues of service delivery? And of course, we know that they've also got the water crisis issue.
Coalition formations, in particular at local government level, have been unworkable and unstable because of this approach of chopping and changing leadership. But also we see an interesting political development in the city of Tshwane, of a shift, because you see that now the ANC is joining forces with Action SA, something which has taken me aback because I didn't see that one coming, because when Helman Mashaba came into power in 2016 as a mayor, he made a commitment that he will never work with the ANC because he said that the problems that he found in government were created by the ANC, and then regarded the ANC as a corrupt party and continued with that narrative and discourse in public. But of late, we see a change of heart in Action SA because they say they feel let down by the DA, that the DA has looked down on them by undermining them, that the DA is arrogant. And then they voted for the ANC, and we saw of late Dada Morewa being elected as a mayor of city of Johannesburg. So in exchange for that, the ANC then will vote for, in my view, the person from Action SA to be the mayor of the city of Tshwane.
And to delve more on that issue of Natasha Phiri, I just want you to, what do you make of Action SA's current posture? We know that this week they're expected to meet and discuss whether they'll stick to the multi-party coalition that's in the city of Tshwane, which is led by the DA, or if they want to actually get into bed with the ANC and the EFF.
As I said, I mean, earlier on, there seems to be a shift and a change of heart because now they seem to be partnering with the ANC. They also support, I mean, the provincial government of Panyaza Lesotho just passed a budget, and Action SA voted for that. And also they are having a partnership with the ANC in the city of Johannesburg. I must say I did not expect that shift, but they say that they feel let down by the DA. But also the DA, on the other hand, says that Action SA cannot fold their arms, you know, while they being attacked, because they have been working with them in government. So if the argument is that the DA has let down the people of Tshwane, in the same way Action SA has also let those people down because they've been working together with the DA.
Okay. Professor Breakfast, thank you so much for your time and for your insights. Of course, that is all that we have for you tonight on the Politics Wrap. I'll be back on Friday.